He's Chris Skinner, Balatro's chief executive. Welcome, thanks very much for coming in. So as you were saying, their first half profit rose, 29% for Barclays, smashing estimates, yet shares in the company are down. Why?
Well, they've delivered a £3.96 billion profit, of which £3.4 billion came from Barclays Capital. Now, what's intriguing about that is that Barclays Capital's revenues for their trading rooms are down. The equities trading room is down 12% in revenue, and the bonds and commodities are down 40%. Equally, their costs have increased. So you kind of wonder where that profitability is coming from. It must be in their trading, and probably from Lehman Brothers, and the American markets has delivered quite a strong result. And also, I think, to a certain extent, the sale of Barclays Global Investors to BlackRock would have helped.
Trading at Barcap has fallen by 40%, as you say. Were you expecting such a sharp fall?
Well, I think it's in line with what we've seen with many of the US investment banks, in that most of the investment banks are showing a decrease in profitability and revenues. And if you look at Goldman Sachs, for example, they had their worst results in many years, mainly because of the bankers' bonus and taxation that's taking place, and the new regulations and capital reserves, and equally the whole markets for mergers and acquisitions are down. So we had expected deflated results, and this is in line with them.
Difficult market conditions for investment banking right now, but Barclays is saying that actually investment banking volumes picked up in the second half of July. Is that likely to continue in the second half of the year and have a significant impact on earnings going forward?
Well, obviously there's a big dependency on the hedge fund and private equity markets, and that may be why we're seeing some increase at the moment, because we've seen the European stress tests take place, which brought confidence back into Europe, and we're equally seeing Ben Bernanke in America trying to give confidence in the American economy. Having said that, I still think there's big fears in double-dip recession, in that if you look around the end of quantitative easing, the austerity measures in Europe, and the fact that the US household spending is on the decline still and unemployment is on the rise, then the indicators are still not showing a great confidence for the future.
So even though bad loans are down for many banks, this is very much the trend that we've been seeing across the board, could we see further write-downs in the event of a double dip, if not an economic slowdown?
To an extent, I think that's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible, because right now Lloyds, HSBC, Barclays, most of the bank results this week have been good results, partly on the back of, as you say, the losses that they reserved for not being as bad as they expected. Nevertheless, if there is a downturn, a double dip, if property prices do deflate, if unemployment increases, and those are all potentially going to happen in Europe and stay in America, then obviously they will have bad losses increasing next year. So it's not certain yet that these results will continue.
You mentioned M&A activity. Do you expect a revival in the coming quarters?
I would hope so. Yeah. I mean, certainly from Asia, there are indicators that some of the Asian companies and countries would like to have more of a foothold in Europe and America. As you saw, Chinese manufacturers taking over Volvo recently. And there's rumours, for example, that China's got an interest in some of our banks. So there may be some move from Asia.
And how might Barclays specifically benefit from that? Are they positioned any better than their competitors when it comes to M&A?
I think so, and they've hired 750 people over the past year, and many of those in Asia for that reason. So I think we will see some pickup.
OK, well, thank you very much indeed, Chris Skinner, Chairman CEO of Balatro. Appreciate your time.